Outspoken Artistry. I hope you all are safe and well. Welcome back to another video on the 12 Christmas Days of Hallyu series. Today is day 4, and today I'm so freaking happy because I finally figured out how to screen record, but also record myself on my webcam at the same time. Finally, now I can do so many things. So yeah, today is all about K-drama tropes. I've really been enjoying the ranking videos I've seen over on Booktube, and I was like, okay, I want to do one of these ranking videos because I love them. Like, they're so fun, so entertaining. So I was like, okay, what can I do them about? I want to do one also on my Hallyu channel. So I was like, okay, why don't I start with K-dramas? K-dramas tropes. Okay, so let's go with tropes. So yeah, I sat down, I wrote a whole bunch of tropes, and I was like, wow, all these years of watching K-dramas finally made things so much easier when it came to like creating the list for this video. But yeah, for those of you who are new, my name is Kirsty. I've been watching K-dramas since 2009, you know, hasn't been that long. And yeah, it's the classic story of Boys Over Flowers, the OST, SS501, Shiny, etc, etc, etc. So yeah, that's basically like my background when it comes to K-dramas. But yeah, I sat down, did the list of tropes. I know there's so many tropes, and we always talk about them over on like Facebook and Twitter. But I was like, okay, let me just narrow it down. I don't want to make such a long list, such a long video. So yeah, basically what I did was that I went to tiermaker.com, and it's basically like the website everybody's using to make these tiers. And so yeah, I decided to do like graphics for the tropes and everything, and just, you know, sit back and discuss all these tropes with you guys. You guys can leave comments down below if you like have a different ranking per trope versus me or anybody else that you know. Whatever, anything you guys want to talk about K-drama tropes, leave it in the comment section below. And so okay, so let's start. Okay, so first of all, I want to start with showing you guys the tiers that I created. So basically, you know, this website is super easy to like manage. I did everything in like 5 minutes. I created the graphics in Canva, super easy. So like my rankings, I did 5, and they are the following. I have for like my faves. It's love it, thank you, because you know, nothing is better when a trope is done correctly. When a trope is done correctly, it just makes the drama so much better. So yeah, oh yeah, by the way, this is all like in my opinion. I'm not trying to like rank things in general or like rank things based on like what I think people should think about them, like what opinions people should have about tropes. No, nothing like that. That's a waste of time. This is basically how I feel about them and how I would rank them. So I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there because, I mean, it's obvious, but sometimes I guess not so much. So yeah. Okay, so the first one is love it, thank you. The second one is like it a lot, but it depends, because sometimes the potential is there, but it depends. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, and sometimes things get really, really annoying. But okay. Third one, lazy and unnecessary. You guys know there are some things that are honestly so unnecessary. They don't add anything to the story. It's just lazy, like it's just lazy. The next one is okay, but sometimes not enough. Yeah, because sometimes, you know, it's like it wasn't like lazy. It was like something attempted, but it didn't get there. It was almost there, but le faltó un poquito, like we say. And then the last one, which is my favorite, it's no more, delete it, let it go. And you guys will understand what I mean when I say this, because I don't think I have a lot of them, but there's a couple of them on my list that I just wish they would just go away. So the first trope is amnesia for no reason. You guys know amnesia is just something that is thrown way too frequently in K-dramas. It's too much. It's just too much. But sometimes it's done so well that I'm like, thank you. I'm like, thank you, because this is what I mean when you use tropes correctly and they add so much to the story and to the development of a character. And it's just, Like one of my favorite K-dramas used this trope so well that it just changed the tone of the drama completely. You know, it was like, oh my god. Okay, let me just position it first before I talk a little bit more about it. Okay, so where can I put this? I feel like it's either no more, delete, let it go, because I hate the way that a lot of times it's just used in K-dramas, but also I like it a lot, but it depends. And it's all because of that one of my favorite K-dramas who did it well. And I think there's other K-dramas who, like, they figured out how not to lean on amnesia to, like, move the story along. Okay, let me put it in like it a lot, but it depends. And I'm gonna explain why. So and don't worry, I'm not gonna give the names of the K-dramas I'm gonna be talking about. But so there's this K-drama that I really like. I watched it a long time ago, and they did amnesia so well because basically, we didn't know for like the whole almost the whole drama that both protagonists had lost their memory, like, to a certain extent. Like there was no indication, there was no nothing. It just came out of nowhere, but it was just so perfect because what they had lived together back then, like they didn't even know they knew each other. And then what they lived back then and what that memory loss meant to them and how it changed the course of their lives. It was so impactful, that revelation. It just changed the course of the drama. Like it changed the realization of like, oh my god, they lost this key memory. It was mind-blowing. It was like, oh my god, like this drama is even more intense, their situation is even more grave. Like, oh, I just remember that episode. I was like, what is going on? What? Like, such a well done plot twist. Then I'm like, you see, this is what you do with amnesia. This is what you do with this. You put in a story and it enriches it. Like, it's not a crutch. Like, I really hate when there's like 2 or 3 episodes of a drama left, and they're like, okay, so what can we do? Let's make them break up for something silly, or like let's send somebody abroad and they forgot how to communicate for a couple of years, like the phone. Who knows about phones? And they come back and whatever, or like, oh wait a minute, a car accident. Oh, amnesia. Like I hate when they do that. I hate when it's like there's nothing else to do. And we want to just stir things up just, towards the end. And so let's just put something in randomly just to like, get some cries out of people or something like that. So I think that's why I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it and like it a lot, but it depends because honestly, I've seen it done well. And so, yeah, when it's done well and it's awesome. Okay, so the second one is I Know You But Don't Remember You. Let me see where it is. I Know You But Don't Remember You. It's like, it happens a lot in dramas when it comes to like childhood friends. Like, oh, we used to hang out when we were kids, but it was only like a short period of time. And then like somebody went away or something happened and then I don't recognize you as an adult. And so like we get to know each other, and then something happens and I'm like, oh wait, this person reminds me of this other person and this quality reminds me of them, and etc. And then they're like, oh wait, I remember you, I know you, we used to be kids and we used to play together, or like our parents knew each other, or I don't know what, but like it's basically that idea of yeah, I know you but I don't remember you. I know you but I can't recognize you. Oh, I should have put that. I know you but I can't recognize you. But you guys understand. Okay, so this one, okay, this one I'm gonna put, oh gosh. Okay, I think this one I'm gonna put in It's Okay. I'm gonna put It's Okay, but sometimes not enough. Okay, so like, I think this is one of the tropes where I think the idea is there. The idea is okay, right? But sometimes the execution is not enough to like inspire something. It's not enough to inspire me to feel connected to the story, or it's not enough to like for me to feel connected to the characters. And what I mean is, and it's happened so much that I'm like, Okay, it's annoying. This whole thing of, oh, we used to be, when we were kids or we were in high school, whatever, we used to hang out and everything, and then everybody went their separate ways or whatever, you moved away, and then as adults we meet up again, I can't recognize you, and so we have interactions and we don't really get along or whatever, or like I don't really care for you, you're just there, and then all of a sudden I remember that you were a childhood friend or something like that, somebody from my past was really important, and all of a sudden like I care for you, and all of a sudden you're important and you're worth talking to or caring about, and I'm like, ay Dios mío. It's like, okay, no, that's I was like, like really, the episode before you were treating her so badly, and now you remember her, like you remember that she was somebody you knew, you know, and then now you want to be all nice to her, and you know, take care of her, and you're having feelings and all this. I'm like, the last episode you were being a total jerk. I don't understand. Yeah, kind of that idea. That's why to me it's not always like enough. I like, you know, when I like when this trope is used, like for example, they knew each other as kids, something happened, they separated, they come back as adults, they are able to recognize each other with time, give it a couple of episodes, it happens organically, and then after that, not only do they remember who they were as kids, but they get to know each other as, you know, who they are in the present, and little by little, you know, there's that affection, there's that consideration, there's a friendship, a romance, etc., etc. I like these to go slowly and organically as possible. And with this trope, sometimes I just feel like it's this too quick. Like the snap is too quick, the change is too quick. And especially when it comes to like the male leads towards the female leads, like the consideration. You didn't care about her last episode, and now all of a sudden you guys are like, you're like, oh, she's worthy of affection and taken care of. I'm like, she was already worthy of that, even if she wasn't your childhood friend. Yeah, like, yeah, I just feel like this how you say this tier, the is okay but sometimes not enough, it's more like the potential tier. Like, it's a good idea, it has potential, but it's not always executed correctly. So it's like the idea is there, the potential is there, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough for me to feel connected. I'll leave that one there. That one stays in that tier. Next up on the list is Evil Mother-in-Law. Evil Mother-in-Law. Okay. Where is the evil? I can't see it. I'm sorry, guys, because I have my camera right in front of me. Is this one? Okay. Evil Mother-in-Law. Okay. I'm in between is okay, but sometimes not enough, and like it a lot, but it depends. I should have just done 2 graphics and have the 1 in 1. Oh, this one's hard. Ay, Dios mío. Because this is hard. You know why? Because I particularly don't care for evil mother-in-laws. Like, I'm not like, oh wow, yeah, an evil mother-in-law. Oh, I don't particularly like it. I don't care. Like, sometimes I wish that type of character didn't exist, or I wish something more could be done for the character, because I feel it's also very stereotypical. But it also depends on how they use the evil mother-in-law, like the storyline in the drama, because sometimes like it's very lazy and unnecessary. Oh, literally one of my tears is sometimes it's lazy and unnecessary, and sometimes it's done correctly. Man, this is hard. Okay, I'm gonna put it in lazy and unnecessary, and I'm gonna explain why. Now I'm in between like it a lot, but it depends, and lazy and unnecessary. But I'm gonna leave it lazy and unnecessary. And this is why. A lot of times I feel like, and this has happened many times in the dramas that I've watched, I feel like the evil mother-in-law, I feel like her character is just very vague, very superficial, in the sense that it's just there to be like, you know, you're playing a game and you have like all the big bosses, and then you have these other small characters, like small bosses, like not small bosses, but you know, small monsters and things like that always get in the way, and they're just there to like for you to beat, and that's it. It doesn't really contribute to the story or anything. It's just put there to like rellenar, you know, like a filler. And sometimes that's what it feels like. Sometimes it just feels like the evil mother-in-law is just a filler, and I hate that. I hate that because I like when, and I don't really, oh man, what drama was it? I don't remember the drama, but I like it when, like, for example, these type of characters are there to like test the relationship of the protagonist. And what I mean is, they test them in a way that it feels like you're seeing characters who their relationship is growing, in a sense of like how they communicate and how they depend on each other, how they deal with the situation of like having someone like the mother, you know, of the person you love always against you, you know, the trials and tribulations that come because of that. I really like it when, you know, these type of characters are used in a way where like their storyline isn't just vague, isn't just like a one type thing, like very lazy, very just, oh, I'm here to be the cranky evil mother who gives you a hard time, but there's not really a reason why I do it, and there's nothing else I have to do in my life, so let me just be this type of mom, you know. It's just kind of, it's boring and it's lazy. It's lazy. I hate that. I hate that because like that character could do just so much. Like, for example, like, okay, she's a mother-in-law, right? But like, what does she do? What's her background? What is like, is she a stay-at-home mom? Does she have her own career? Did something happen that made her you know, made her into a character you would consider an evil stepmom? Like, why is she this way with the protagonist? Or why is she so like, so apprehensive or like adamant with, you know, her son or daughter's significant other, etc., etc.? Like, give her some depth, and then if you want to make her evil, whatever, sure, do so, but then give me a reason why. Give me a reason why she's like that, and use her in a way where like not only are the protagonists growing, you know, with the adversities, but she is growing as well. Like, it doesn't always have to be, I understand, you know, it doesn't always have to be like, oh, the evil mother-in-law finally sees the error of her ways, because not everybody sees the error of their ways. But I would like to see like more of that storyline, like them being developed as well as the main leads, in whichever direction. It could be, you know, in the worst direction possible, which is a learning lesson to anybody like watching it, to like see what these type of actions can lead to. Or maybe, you know, an ending where, like I said, she sees the error of her ways, and the change is organic. You know, yeah, it's like, I feel like evil mother-in-laws don't have to be a filler. They could be something much more than that, you know. Next up, 4 and 5 are similar. The only thing that changes is the first word. So for number 4, there's enemies turn lovers. The automatic reaction. Okay, as an avid Pride and Prejudice fan, love you, Jane Austen, forever. The enemies turn lovers. And this is where it gets tricky once again. I think I'm going to be doubting myself throughout this whole entire video. Can't wait. Oh gosh. Okay, so, ay Dios mío. No sé. So enemies turn lovers. In my in my heart, It would always be love it, thank you. Um, but also K dramas a lot of times it's like it a lot, but it depends. If we were Pride and Prejudice, if we were talking just about Pride and Prejudice, I would put it love it, thank you, because I love how the enemies turn lovers is done in Pride and Prejudice, both the book and the movies. Ay, Dios mío. Okay. Okay. I can do this. Okay, I can do this. Okay, so let's go with like it a lot, but it depends. Okay. Inevitably, one of my favorite tropes ever. I love the I can't stand you, you're so annoying, I don't really know you, but ugh, like this vibe you're giving me is just no thank you. But then we get to know each other organically. Natural, no, let's go with naturally. I think naturally would sound better. We get to know each other naturally. There's some misunderstandings, there's some misconceptions, lots of patience, lots of communication, lots of interactions, understandings, cute moments, awkward moments, all that stuff later, and we become naturally invested in each other, and we like each other more than friends and all that, and then yada yada yada, lovers. Okay. That's what I like. I love character development. That's what I like. I like character development. I like slowly but surely. I like just the fluidity of a plot line. But sometimes in K-dramas, it's just, to be quite honest, the male lead sometimes is just very nasty. It's just a lot of male leads that I've come to like watch, and this is why I always fall in love with the second leads. It's just why it happens, because a lot of times I just feel like the main lead is just nasty. I hate that they're rude to the protagonist. I hate that they're mean. I hate that they're jerks. I hate that like there's no consideration. Like, you don't have to like the person, but like treat them as a human being. Like, where's the respect? Where's the consideration? Where's the be polite? I don't know. It's like, I don't like the way a lot of times, like, the glorification of toxic male leads. I just hate it. And this is why I guess I'm gonna have to leave this here, because a lot of times it depends. A lot of times it depends on how they start off, what type of enemies they are. Like, sometimes it's like just wrong first impressions, or like misunderstandings and things like that. Things that could be worked out in time, like communication and respect, etc., etc. But then, like, there's other times that it's just nasty. It's like the male lead is just rude. He treats the protagonist like very badly. Even after he starts liking her, there's still this rudeness to them that I find so unappealing and so unattractive, and I hate it like with a passion. Just please let these type of male protagonists go. Like, please, bayansing. Like, I don't need them. No one needs them. The story doesn't need them. Like, it's like, it's just, sometimes it's too much. Sometimes it's just too aggressive, too mean, too like really. And then slowly but surely you see how he, like, and I'm saying he because a lot of times it's he. You see that he's mean at the beginning, really mean, really nasty, and then little by little he starts falling in love with her, but he's still a jerk. Even afterwards, sometimes, like, as he's falling in love, and then after he's falling in love, it's just like, no gracias. So even though I love it, even though I love this trope, and I feel like when it's executed well, it just makes the story so much better. Like, I can't explain to you how much I love this trope. Like, I read Pride and Prejudice when I was in high school, and it's my favorite book in English of all time. And I just love the whole, like, enemies to lover. I just love how, I just love how Lizzie and Mr. Darcy like the misunderstanding that they had and the prejudice that they had towards each other, and all that stuff that just made things very difficult between them in the beginning, all the misunderstandings, and how little by little they were able to like clear up, you know, all those things that like got in the way at the beginning, like through communication and like patience and all this stuff. It was just very I just love how it was done, and I wish this trope was always done correctly in K-dramas, because it has so much potential. This is so much like character development you can do through so many situations and so many scenarios, that it's like, my God, I love this trope. But I'm gonna have to leave it there. I'm gonna have to leave it and like it a lot, but it depends. This is good. This will hurt me. This will hurt. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Okay, so the next one on the list is friends turned lovers. Okay, here it is. Okay, so this one is almost the same as enemies turned lovers in the sense of like my sentiments towards it, but I feel like friends turned lovers, I like it more how it's done than when enemies turned lovers is done. If I feel like, did I explain myself correctly? Yeah, okay, so like when it comes to the dramas I've seen, I've liked how they've executed how they've executed friends turn lovers versus enemies turn lovers. That's what I mean, because honestly, I like them both. Enemies turn lovers, of course, I like it a little bit more, but I like friends turn lovers. I liked how they've done it in dramas. I really like just, you know, the character development, like people who are friends, like they grow up or different situations happen and they see each other in another light. There's like, you know, that spark, that difference in like consideration and care and stuff like that. And there's like a whole history of like, how do you say this? There's substance to the relationship, to the feelings. I feel like, how do I say this? It doesn't feel vague. It doesn't feel like I'm infatuated with you. It doesn't feel like something that's like without substance. How do I say? It doesn't feel like it comes out of nowhere. I just feel like I like friends turn lovers because I feel like there's like a base to it. Is that the right way to say it? It's just like, you know, there's so many experiences lived together, so many situations, and I just like, I love to see like friends. How do you say this? I just like that moment where like people start to consider someone else more than a friend, in the sense of like to just see them in another light. It's like this person has been with me like practically all my life, or for like a substantial time in my life, or an important part of my life. And so like I want that to be longer. I want them to continue to be part of my life. Like there's something about them that, I don't know, there's just something about them that I would like to keep in my life. Like, how do I say, there's this certain consideration and endearment behind just seeing friends turn into lovers that I just really like. And I like so far, like the ones that I've seen, I haven't seen many, but the ones that I've seen so far, I really like how it's been executed. And not only in K-dramas, like I know I say this is K-drama tropes, but also I'm always thinking about like Taiwan dramas, Japanese dramas, Thailand dramas. So like in my memory, most of the time I enjoy more friends turn lovers than enemies turn lovers. And I just really like that. I really like, you know, seeing friends slowly but surely develop feelings towards each other, and all the complications that come with that, and all the drama and the angst and all that. It's just oh, do you guys see Marley back there? There he goes. Look at him. Where is he? Right here. That's him. Can you guys see him? I don't know, but that's him. That's Mr. Awakata. He's the newest member of the family. Okay, so yeah, basically, yeah, I'm gonna leave friends turn lovers in Love It, because I usually do really love it, and I really like the character development and the spark. I like that spark between friends. Okay, next one is, and this one is just Woo. Toxic male lead. There's no doubt in my mind. There is no thinking that I need to do. There's no consideration. This toxic male lead is gonna go in my F rank in the no more, delete it, let it go. Just let it go. Please, for the love of anything that you believe in, for whatever is true to you, just let it go. Just let the toxic male lead go. Let him go. Please. Like, you can have a male lead that isn't a jerk, and that's it. Punto y se acabó. You can have a male lead that isn't a jerk. It's just that. You can have a male lead that isn't a jerk. He can be everything else. He can be shy. He can be endearing, charismatic, etc., 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 all that. But there's no need to have that toxic element in a male lead. There's no need. Like, I've seen dramas where, oh my god, and my head and my heart are going to, this male lead that, oh my god, I can't say the name of the drama. Okay, but there's this male lead in this Taiwan drama that I saw a long time ago. And he was like one of the first male leads that I really, really loved. Even after years of like watching K-dramas, he was just all I ever wanted a male lead to be. Just a man who is secure within himself, who doesn't treat the female lead like crap, doesn't feel intimidated by her. A male lead that doesn't feel the need to like overpower the female lead, like by intimidation or by being super rude to her, or like making her feel less, etc., etc., etc. He was just so perfect, and I loved how, you know, they got to know each other, and he always gave her space. Even after he found out about her true identity, you know, there was always this respect and this camaraderie between them, and I just really loved that. I really loved that he saw her for who she was, and he didn't feel intimidated by her. He didn't feel less by her being just this awesome female lead. I have no use whatsoever. I feel like stories also don't, like, not all of them need this toxic, you know, male lead. He doesn't need to be rude. He doesn't need to be a jerk. He doesn't need to be like intimidating. He doesn't need to be violent. He doesn't need to be like all these nasty and mean things. He doesn't need to be mean towards the female lead. He just doesn't need to be this way. You know, being toxic, it should not be like a standard when it comes to male leads in K-dramas or any type of media. I mean, unless of course there's a reason why, like, it's how do you say, there's a reason why he's like that, and you know, there's like a backstory, and it's not something that's gonna like immediately go away after he falls in love with the protagonist and all of a sudden he doesn't know how to be mean anymore, or all of a sudden he found like the inspiration to respect the female lead for the human being she is. You know, like, if you're portraying different types of characters, of course there's gonna be like the toxic person, the encouraging person, charismatic, shy, etc., 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 and everybody with their backstory and a reason why they're like that, and how, you know, their personality contributes to the story. Okay, I understand, but it's just too many times I've seen the male lead just be toxic for no reason whatsoever, for no reason, being super mean, just a jerk, a bad boy, and I'm so over it. And I'm like, this is why I like second male leads, because even though they frustrate me as well, because they never do enough to get the girl. They never do enough, and sometimes it doesn't even make sense how she likes the male lead when he's just so mean. Like, and then you have someone like, and it's not even that, it's not, she doesn't have to like fall in love with the second lead just because he's nice. You don't owe nobody that. But like, it doesn't really make sense for her, like, it doesn't make sense to be attracted to, like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I'm just I'm getting frustrated. It's just so many times I've seen like the female lead like have more consideration, or yeah, like have more consideration for like the toxic male lead versus like other people, not specifically the second male lead, but towards other people who also need consideration as well. But yeah, most definitely toxic male lead, no more, delete, let it go. F rank forever. I hate them. I do not like the toxic male lead. Ugh. You know, and so many dramas with so, you know, such good potential, like good storylines, good potential, and then they have to just put this jerk as a male lead, and I'm like, ugh. You know what? Forget it. Okay, so we're halfway through the list. Next up is the car plus motorcycle accident slash the white truck van. Okay. There's always a white truck somewhere. There's always a white truck somewhere. Okay, so here it is. Car, motorcycle accident. This one, once again, in the middle of two. Man, I'm gonna put it, wow, okay, I think I'm gonna put it in lazy and unnecessary. I think I'm gonna put it there, and I tell you why. Most of the times I see a car accident, motorcycle accident, the white truck and all that, it's always towards the end. It's always towards the end, and it's done the same way as the amnesia, where there's something that needs to be done to move the plot along, or there's nothing else, everybody's cool, everybody is nice, things are wrapping up, but we need just that punch, something dramatic to like bump up the angst and create drama. And then it's like, okay, so we have a couple of options. We got a car accident, we got a motorcycle, the truck is on standby somewhere, let's see. And so that's my problem. Once again, is the laziness of it all, is the unnecessariness. Is that a word? The unnecessary factor of it all. You know, like it's the same thing as the amnesia in this, but like I said, most of the time I've always seen it like at the end, or like a filler. Like I would be okay with it if it. Oh man. Oh no, I'm getting flashbacks of this drama that the protagonist, the person that I thought was going to be the protagonist, died at the end of the second episode? Or was it the end of the... Either it was the beginning of the Wait a minute, was it the ending of the second episode? Yeah, the ending of the second episode, beginning of the third episode? Or was it... Okay, between the second and the third episode, the person I thought was gonna be the lead, the male lead, he died. He was hit by a truck, was it, or was it a car? I think it was a truck. Yeah, okay. So he was hit by a truck. And I was like, oh my god, what the heck is going on? Like, it's the first time that I saw the whole accident thing being used at the beginning. I was like, oh my god. And then, you know, then throughout the drama, I figured out, oh, he wasn't the male lead, it was just the other person. But like, it was just very like, whoa. And then you see how the person's absence affects everybody around him, all his friends. And yeah, I was like, oh, okay, then, you know, something more, like the car led to something more that really like intertwined with the story of like the protagonists, their friends, etc., etc. It just wasn't there to like bump up the angst and like get everybody worried for nothing, you know? Yeah. So I don't have much to say about that one. Okay, number 8 is love triangles. Love triangles. Okay, I think I like love triangles. I like love triangles. Love triangles are okay for me. I like them most of the time. I am okay with how they dealt with. Well, but it depends. I think I like square love triangles more than square love triangles. How does that work? I like love squares than love triangles. Yes, I love more love squares than love triangles. Oh man, I'm in between two. So love triangles, I like them because I like the whole dynamic of like the male lead having to deal with the awesome second male lead, which I'm usually more inclined to, who I'm like usually rooting for more. And I like the whole dynamic. Sometimes they like make it cheesy, other times it's like really dramatic. But then other times, and this happens also like when it's and this I really hate as well, because it's usually you have the male lead, you have the female lead, and then you have the male lead's ex is like part of the triangle. And then they make her out to be like the super jealous, super insecure, doing unnecessary things to get in the way. I mean, of course they do that sometimes with the second lead, but like usually the second lead is male and he's nicer than the male lead. Like usually that's what happens. And so yeah, that's why I'm in between those two tiers, because when they do love triangles and it's always like the crazy ex, the crazy male lead's ex, that's where I'm like, and it gets like into that lazy and unnecessary like category where like she's just a filler, she's just there to like stir things, like stir things up. She doesn't have a backstory, she doesn't have really a reason why she's doing anything other than she wants to get back with him, which sometimes you're like, why, what for? But yeah, this one's tricky because I've seen a lot of love triangles that are really good, but like love squares are better. Okay, so I think I'm gonna move it to like it a lot, but it depends, because yeah, sometimes I think it's the execution of the third person of like their storyline which can mess it up. Though usually I do like love triangles, sometimes it's just that third person is just it just really depends. Okay, so far the second tier has the most tropes.